This is Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. Perhaps you've seen him before, like in this clip from June 25th, 2019. That was Sergeant Bellavia earning the Medal of Honor, but we can get back to why he earned that later. David Bellavia was born in Buffalo, New York, before attending Lindenville Central High School and Houghton Academy. After he graduated from high school, he attended Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire, and then attended University of Buffalo studying biology and theater before he decided to join the military. Bellavia enlisted in the Army as an infantryman in 1999. He was stationed in Syracuse, which was great for him because it was nearby to his family, including his infant son. In 2001, though, he had to choose between changing his military occupational specialty and submitting a hardship discharge, or remaining as an infantryman and leaving his family for 36 months on an unaccompanied tour to Germany. After the terror attacks on 9/11, the sense of duty ingrained in Bellavia by his grandfather kicked in, and he felt that his country needed him, and he chose to go to Germany and fight. In 2003, after his time in Germany, Bellavia's unit was deployed to Kosovo for 9 months before they received orders to deploy directly to Iraq. They took part in many battles, most importantly for Bellavia though, the Battle of Fallujah. Once in Iraq, Bellavia's platoon was to take part in Operation Phantom Fury. They were supposed to clear a block of 12 buildings from which insurgents were firing on American forces. When Bellavia got to the 10th house, he entered alone. When Bellavia entered the house, he shot an insurgent preparing to load a rocket-propelled grenade. A second insurgent fired at him, and Bellavia wounded him in the shoulder. When Bellavia entered the next room, the insurgent followed, forcing Bellavia to kill him. Another insurgent began firing at him from upstairs, and Bellavia had to kill him too. A fourth insurgent jumped out of a closet, and Bellavia managed to wound him. That insurgent ran upstairs, and Bellavia followed. Bellavia found out that the room that the insurgent ran into was filled with propane tanks and plastic explosives. He couldn't use his gun for fear of setting off the explosives, so he had to engage in hand-to-hand combat, killing the insurgent by stabbing him in the collarbone. These events were first chronicled by Michael Ware, a journalist who was attached with Bellavia's unit during the fight. After serving for 6 years, Bellavia left the service with the rank of Staff Sergeant in 2005. On June 7, 2019, it was revealed to the media that Bellavia would be awarded with the Medal of Honor. He actually got the Medal of Honor at the White House on June 25, 2019. Bellavia receiving the Medal of Honor is important on a couple of levels. He was the first person from the Iraq War to receive the award, and unfortunately, he's the only one of the 6 to have survived. The other 5 all died from their heroic actions. Actions such as these take a certain kind of person, and Bellavia is no exception. Bellavia is a leader, and he leads by example. He shows trademark qualities of both transformational leadership and a little bit of adaptive leadership. Earlier in the year, we talked about the different forms that leadership can take and how vital it is to military success. These leadership qualities are ultimately what let Bellavia perform his heroic acts. David Bellavia has a few traits that make him a very good transformational leader. He has a very high character, and he follows the be, know, do philosophy, which means he knows what's right and he follows through with it. He knew that he had to go into that house and take out the insurgents, and he did it. He also shares the 2 key behavioral traits that make him a natural leader: his orientation towards a task, and an orientation towards people. He demonstrates his orientation towards the task by making sure he cleared that house through whatever means necessary. And he shows his orientation towards people because the whole reason he cleared the house was to protect his fellow platoon members. On the other hand, Bellavia also showed qualities of adaptive leadership. Adaptive leaders often act first and then evaluate the results. This is exactly what Bellavia did when he went into that house. He had no true plan other than the fact that he knew he had to kill those insurgents. Adaptive leaders are also very often smart, quick thinking, and creative. This was shown by Bellavia in the house as well. He had to make plenty of real-time decisions that could mean the difference between life and death. Despite these great leadership qualities, it's no secret that Bellavia had to have some amount of luck to get out of that house alive. And to paraphrase LeBron James,
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Bill. You need a little bit of luck to win.
Medal of Honor. Since leaving the military, Bellavia has gone on to do a number of things. In 2007, he published his memoir, House to House: An Epic Memoir of War. It chronicles his experiences in the Iraq War and the side of the house where he earned his Medal of Honor. In 2012, he even signed an agreement to have it made into a major motion picture film. In 2008, Bellavia ran for Congress in New York's 26th congressional district under the Republican Party. He did so again in 2011, although this time under his self-formed Federalist Party of New York. He then ran again in 2012 and 2018 under the Republican Party, although this time he was running for the 27th congressional district seat instead of the 26th. Despite the fact that he was never successful in winning one of these seats of Congress, his repeated attempts to be in a position where he believed he could help people shows his dedication to leadership and his orientation towards people. Bellavia's orientation towards people can also be seen in his 2012 to 2013 stint as a host on the Buffalo-based radio station WBEN. Bellavia can still be found living in the Western New York community. He was even honored at Bills games in November of 2007 and again in November of 2019. He is currently working on his second book. And with that, I'll leave you with just one more thought. Out of the tens of millions of people who have served in the U.S. military, David Bellavia is one of just 3,506 people who have earned a Medal of Honor, and that's worthy of being respected. Thank you for watching my video.